Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City Media podcast. Stepping up to the microphones are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Pull up your chair, grab your favorite brew, and enjoy the conversation. Now, let's get to the show.
T-I-G-E-R-S, Tigers. Timothy, we're finally ranked.
You know, first of all, it's kind of a popular topic today, and it's a little mind-boggling that it's taken this long now, but
We weren't far off from being 26th again.
what do you have to do?
3 spots.
What do you have to do to be ranked? I don't get it.
Let's tell the folks what we're drinking tonight. It's Hoot and Holla because we was hooting and hollering on Saturday. We'll be hooting and hollering tonight. Well, tomorrow night. But if you're listening today, Tuesday, tonight in FedEx Forum.
Hey, man, this is Hampline, hootin' hollering. Hootin'
Good
hollering.
old classic American Pills, Got
Got a little cacti on the front of it. Yeah. I thought it was a cucumba for a
prickly.
second there, and I thought we did another cucumber beer.
So did I. So did I. When I thought you were sending me a cucumber pic earlier.
I don't even know what that means.
That's what it looked like on the cam.
That's fair. That's fair.
Little green cucumber. The state of the show. For those of you at home. We saw the clip. And I just want to apologize formally to TJ because
I hope you're happy.
He doesn't deserve to be spoken to that way. But to be fair, his question was quite ridiculous.
I was sitting here trying to be a friend, create conversation.
First
And
of all,
here you are, and you just clown on me.
afterwards, when you explained it to me, it made sense. But it came out of nowhere from my point of view.
My head was still ticking
And then
from
you
like
said
45 seconds ago.
Spot an NBA team 30 points, which to me, spotting someone means you allow, like, they're up 30-0 to start
This
the game. And
guy,
so I was like,
dude.
that's even more ridiculous. So, TJ, one, I was sick last week. I was a little under the weather. I'm not a miserable person. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, that was the overwhelming consensus for the first, 48 hours was,
Wait, people heard it.
what is wrong with this dude?
This vibe killer over
It
here.
was a silly question. It was a
dude.
silly question. But after watching film, I'm going to do better, TJ.
Unbelievable, dude.
I will do better.
Here's the hilarious part. TJ loved it. Every minute of that exchange.
I think that's also why I was getting more agitated because he was just sitting there laughing the entire time, and I felt like he was trying to There's some with TJ. It's ever just straightforward. He's got an ulterior
mean?
motive.
There's always he's always trying
I
something.
thought you were trying to get me into something to say something that you wanted to say.
I was just creating conversation. That's all it was.
That's fine. I'm here for it. Let's do it.
We're sitting here. We have microphones, headphones, cameras. There's like 15 cameras here.
We just need a live studio audience,
Umbrellas.
which we tried to do next week for Christmas, and Kenny shut us down.
Lady Stubblefield wasn't having a live show.
Lady Stubblefield. We just called her before to ask if we could do that. That was a hard no.
that was a
hard no.
That was a hard no.
Hard no. Big one on Saturday, Tej.
Show enough.
For a couple of reasons, mainly because we hadn't been at home in 6 weeks. Secondly, because you were playing a top 15 team in the country that was undefeated, and it was a huge opportunity. And at the end of the day, you did what you needed to come out on top. Move to 8-2, get a 79-77 victory over the Fighting PJ Halls. Speaking of fighting in PJ Hall, I would love to fight PJ Hall.
I don't know if you'd win that one. No offense to you.
I mean,
He's
I'm
just
not.
got an incredible reach.
I
on
don't
you.
expect to win. He's what, 6'10 and a half, 260 or something. How big is he?
That's probably fair. We'll take that.
240. So he's got 7 inches and
Dang, dude.
25, 30 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, look, I heard the fans were having fun with PJ Hall.
Fun.
Fun is a good word for it, right?
I mean, he was, don't get me wrong, the guy's good at basketball. And he was getting after it with the crowd. After he had that travel spin move dunk, and he flipped the crowd off or whatever he did, people in that section went crazy.
I mean, he's a showman. I like it. I'm okay with that.
He's just a passionate, competitive young man.
Yeah.
Who can play basketball?
At times, he can. If he's PJ, if you're listening, we know that you probably are. If there's anything that you need to work on, it would probably be your cardio.
Yeah, it's not really in their style, man. It's not in a lot of team style, honestly.
It's not. I mean, we play at an exceptional pace, but the most frustrating part for me on Saturday was that span of about 4.5, 5 minutes. We got to the midway point of the first half.
Oh, where he was super gassed?
And he called to come out.
You go right at him, dude.
And we proceeded. There was not a dead ball for the next 5 straight minutes of gameplay. I'm not talking 5 real minutes. I'm talking, well, I guess it was 5 real minutes because the clock didn't stop. There was no dead ball. Probably 5, 6, 7 possessions. Never came out. Was huffing and puffing, and we did not go at him one time.
Yeah.
We proceeded to shoot like 5 or 6 threes in that 5 or 6 minutes.
I feel like you needed to have
which is very
assistant
frustrating
watching for something like that.
And now you didn't have Malco or Jourdain, I don't even think, in at that point in time. I'm pretty sure it was Walton that was in there. But even more so to the point, get the ball to Jaquan and let him attack the basket.
Sure.
I mean, he had already had that nice fake spin that caught PJ off, and he was able to spin back.
And
right, and he came back in the middle of the lane and had an easy layup.
Yeah.
That was just one of the frustrating moments
I could see
that I
that.
had on Saturday. I mean, it was evident that if we continued to push the pace, that Shefflin, PJ, they were struggling.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's not even a situation where you had to have a Malcolm or a Jourdain in there necessarily to go at him straight up. I think if you just start sending guys moving constantly on the backside, just to have him constantly shuffling and moving, trying to guard the basket.
I mean, just make
him move,
play any kind of defense.
So
we didn't do that.
I agree with that, but I think probably an assistant needs to be watching for something like that. And I don't know how they.
I mean, I was screaming
how they make
it,
that call,
but
I said this in the Discord. It felt like to me, though, yes, that was a rough stretch for the Tigers, but that was kind of the death knell, I think, for their overarching effectiveness. PJ Hall and Fat Josh Giddey, like they called him from the student section.
Is that what they were saying?
They were saying Fat Josh Giddey.
I could not understand. They did it like 3 or 4 times, and
funny,
I was never able to make out what they were actually chanting.
But I don't think those guys ever recovered from that. Like, they played well. I mean, PJ had a stretch where he played pretty well in that second half, but in terms of just their gas tank was done at that point.
Yeah. I mean, Kenny, we talked after the game, and a part of that was PJ was visibly tired in the first half, halfway through the first half. And like first or second possession of the second half, he gets fouled and nearly airballed the free throw. And I was like, damn, he's still tired. we got 20 minutes of ball left to play.
I think a couple people pointed that out on Twitter kind of all at once. We're like, all right, this dude is absolutely gassed.
I mean, I cannot, to be honest with you, him and Shefflin both, they were both gassed. I can't recall, honestly, like a moment I've been watching a game where I've noticed live that a dude was that tired.
Oh, really? You've never seen Jordan Brown play? Is it too soon? I don't know.
Not in 3 games. Not in 3 games.
He's so sick though, dude. I mean, he's at least got a reason, you know.
I mean, we have does he have like the worst case of mono that anybody has ever had ever?
I got the case of the butt hurts. I don't know.
I don't know what he has.
Going back to Clemson though,
if they keep using, you think they're using a rectal thermometer? That's why his butt hurts.
Maybe so.
He's got a fever.
I didn't know what to expect of Clemson. Like, yes, I knew they were undefeated, but if you look at their schedule,
I gotta give them
UAB,
credit.
Davidson, Boise State, Alcorn.
I talked a lot of us last week, and I said we win by 10 plus. They are a better ball club than I gave them.
They were pretty
credit
damn
for.
good. Like, I know they played Alabama. Yes, like that's a good test.
I'm winning at Alabama on the road for sure.
Yeah, Pitt, South Carolina, TCU. Like, I'm not seeing any like true just like hard ass games. Just to be fair, outside of Alabama, that one's tough. Obviously, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I knew they were undefeated. They had the one good test. They're a good team.
Yeah.
Like, they've got some good players there.
I mean, they have a legitimate shot to win the ACC.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fair.
Especially with PJ. Like, he's a damn good ball player.
Such a toss-up over there.
And Gerard, knock down 3-point shooter.
Yeah. that guy needs to chill.
Like they got some ball players.
As slow-footed as he is, he's good. He's good.
And especially if they continue to get production like that out of Wiggins.
Yeah.
You got 2 6'10" guys that can score the basketball like that.
Wiggins is dropping bombs on us. He needs to chill.
Got a goofy looking shot, but
How do you defend that?
I don't know. They did. They came out hot.
Yep.
Hot from the floor. And Penny said it. The plan going in was to double PJ anytime he got the ball on the post. They were doing that, and he was kicking out, and they were knocking down threes.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have to live and die by that.
Through the first 3.5, 4 minutes, they were shooting 100% from the field.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. We hadn't shot on those rims in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You knocked a little bit of rust off.
Did you happen to see that David Jones continues to be David Jones? That was pretty impressive.
I have happened to see that David Jones has now gone for 22 plus in 4 or 5 straight ball games.
Yeah.
I mean, sheesh. And it's David and Jahvon.
Yeah.
Quinerly had a damn good game. Let's not gloss over that.
No.
That's 4 straight for him. He's had 6, 6, 5, and 6 assist-wise in the last 4 games.
I think with JQ, I think I need to apologize to him.
It's that winter tickle in my throat.
I got to stop. That's why I got the water over here. I think I need to apologize to JQ, and I mentioned it in the Discord. Like,
you know who needs to apologize is Charlie Schlong. I mean, he texted us first half of the A&M game and asked if JQ kind of sucks. And talk about somebody that doesn't know ball, Charlie. Sheesh kebab.
I was going to say, there was a stretch there where I don't want to say JQ was not a threat. Definitely not going to say that. But he definitely had a
rough... I think he was a threat. Oh, not a threat.
Not a threat, excuse me. Alabama through Villanova, I feel like it was. Like, he struggled in the tournament, I felt like, to score. Obviously, the assists were still there. But ever since then, he's just been on a tear.
You're talking about the Bahamas tournament.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to say I gave up on him, but I definitely didn't believe that he was as advertised until post
Well, I mean,
Bahamas.
you got to remember, like, he missed a month. Practice leading up to games. Like he's just now getting to the point where he's probably conditioned. He's comfortable. He's getting his feet back under him.
Yeah, he's been playing great. I mean, 17 and 6 in this last game. I mean, you get 17 and 6 from him. 22 and 6 boards from Jones. Is that right? So, I mean, if you
JQ, I'm all in on Jelly Fam JQ, man.
Oh yeah.
He is so unbelievably shifty and quick with I feel like he can get by any primary defender.
I think
whenever
he
wants
to the
to.
rim whenever he wants to. Yeah.
Literally whenever he wants to, and his ability to make layups even amongst PJ Halls and guys trying to block his shot is unbelievable.
He has a little stutter step that he does that just parks defenders, and he just right by him every time. It's stupid.
It's amazing to watch. Honestly.
I don't get it. Yeah, who else had a good game? Obviously, Malcolm is the easy one.
I mean, not a beautiful game from the floor by any means. 2 of 8, only 4 points, but he had 9 boards, 2 steals, only 2 fouls.
If I remember correctly, TJ, you gave him player of the game in the Discord.
Yeah, I would have 100%. I would do it time and time again. Give him player of the game.
He had big plays.
2 different stands in which he battled on the defensive end. There's one more particularly at the end of the game. I can't remember. I think he was guarding Hall.
Yep.
They were breaking back down. He switches off Hall onto a guard. I think, did he get credited for the steal?
No, because the guard walked with it, right?
Yeah. He makes PJ fumble it, kind of.
Yeah.
Pass it off to Hunter. They switch, right? Wasn't it Hunter?
I think so.
Yeah, it was Hunter.
One of the brothers or whatever.
He's playing man straight up on Hunter. Hunter drives. He forces him
out by half court. By the way,
yes.
He forces what should have been called a travel.
Yeah,
but then also ends up being sort of a loose ball. Dives on the ground, potential tie up, but whatever. Shot clock goes off.
Yeah,
I mean that entire defensive possession was basically
bananas.
Three efforts. Like when you can get a multiple effort out of your big man like that, especially where he was
and on
in space like that.
In space like that, come on, man.
6'9", 250, whatever he is on a guard. And you're hanging with him? Like, what are we talking about?
It was silly.
That's absurd. The stat line not great, obviously,
I
don't think
it was
that
fine.
you
It was
need
good
to-
though. 9 boards. That's what you need out of it.
No, that's incredible from him.
Especially when we sit here and talk about rebounding being a concern. I don't look.
Is it a concern anymore?
That's what I was about to say. I don't think it's a concern anymore. You got out
It
rebounded
is
by
definitely
2
much less of a concern.
to Clemson, but let's be real. That's because you missed 106 3-point shots. So
Yeah,
of course they were
yeah.
going to end up with 2 more rebounds.
The fact that they only got out rebounded by 2 says a lot to me, though.
Sure.
You out rebounded. You had more offensive rebounds. I think you had more second chance points. Like, I don't know that it is a concern anymore.
I'm not going to say that it's not necessarily a concern. I think it's just more so.
It's not a glaring issue
Exactly.
like it was.
Exactly. It's not standing out the way it was. And I think that A&M game particularly, that was a game where we should have been crushed on the boards.
Well, I mean, I would even say Clemson, theoretically.
No,
given
I'm
the
saying
size
from A&M, starting at A&M
Yeah.
onward, we should just be crush.
And it's not. Like,
And
you
it's not happening.
out-rebounded A&M, and you basically were even on a night where you shot literally terribly. I mean,
Yeah,
you missed
like dog
20,
water.
22 threes. Of course, they're probably going to get more rebounds.
Isn't that crazy, though? You, as a team that gets a lot of second chance, like, how do I word that? We do not particularly rebound all that well in comparison to Clemson, and they make a lot of take a lot of threes, so they get a lot of second shots, second chance shots
Off of
missed threes for more threes, and you still were able to come up and win because I mean they were hitting them right. It wasn't like they were just taking they weren't us from the 3-point line, right?
I mean, they started off hot. They cooled off a lot. They still shot 30%. They made 7.
I asked Jaden about that actually during their availability before the game, and I asked them specifically, like, as a guard, what are they doing in practice as guards in terms of concentrating on rebounding? You know, a lot of times, especially previous Memphis teams, you would see the guards leak out to get the ball moving in pace, right?
Yeah.
But with their deficiency in rebounding at the beginning of the year, Jaden was talking about how they have really, really, really practiced hard on all 5 guys coming back, crashing, because those guards are so important when it comes to chipping those bigs off the block, getting in front of them. Because you've got bigs, you got Malco who's having a rim protect, and then it leaves open his guy that he's guarding to get an easy putback. You saw that multiple times against Ole Miss, and now they're all crashing and going to get the ball, but they're still going in pace too.
Well,
that's the
what
crazy
I was
part.
Say is like I still think that you got guy. I mean, Quinerly's quick enough with the ball that he can crash and you guys can still get out.
But at the same time, you don't want everyone crashing, and then no one is 15 feet back if it is any type of like big bounce.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. You get caught up in that kind of situation.
To go back to it, it's at least the last couple of games, it hasn't been a huge concern. I mean, you go back to VCU, because what's his face was volleyball tapping every ball out basically. But A&M and Clemson, it's been a different story. Like, rebounding just hasn't really been the issue that we've seen it be previously.
So what would you say, obviously, as great as the Tigers have been, what would you say is the most glaring weakness as of now?
Finishing the end of games.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Either A, inbounding the ball, or 2.
Why is inbounding so hard? Why is that consistently
Well,
a
since
thing?
they've started running the Cramsey 5-wide special, it hadn't been as bad, except for the fact that they still throw the ball into the corner. And it's fine if you don't just catch it.
It's not.
If
I
you
hate
catch
it so
it and
much.
go in the corner, it's fine. But
hate
we're
it.
catching it and just sitting there and letting the trap come to them.
Yeah.
The other part is we started 12 of 12. Through the first 37 minutes of that game on Saturday, we were 12 of 12 from the free throw line.
Jeez.
And we finished 17 of 23, meaning down the stretch in the last 2.5, 3 minutes, we were 5 of 11 from the free throw line. Shut under 50% after you were 100%.
And it was your best free throw shooters.
Right. It was your best. David Jones, I think, missed 2. Caleb missed 2. I mean, it was, and the one that was funny, I was sitting right behind the Clemson bench on that the last possession when Jahvon made 2 to put us up 3. I mean, it was very evident that they wanted Jaquan. Well, you could see it in the play. They literally didn't guard him. But that was their plan. Like, they wanted him going to the free throw line of everybody. And then he steps up. And trains too.
Puts him on the table, dude.
But honestly, that legit, and that's not even specific, honestly, to this team. I feel like that's been an issue for years.
It's a fair statement.
Like, I don't feel like we ever just close games out easily. Whether it's free throw shooting, whether it's getting the ball in bounds, whatever it may be, it seems like it's always a struggle.
I'm going to look this up as I ask you the question. And Kenny, you can answer along as well. Do you think the volume of three-point shots is a concern?
No.
So I don't.
They're
not. It's not like they're putting up 25, 30 a game, right? They shot 26 the other night. There was a huge stretch where Clemson was in a zone, and a lot of those were open, and they just weren't falling.
That's the
for
thing.
Whatever reason. It's not like they were just taking bad threes.
Yeah.
Somebody in your face, you're running the shot clock down. Your last desperation is heaving a three up. It was like
it's not like the Ole Miss Jahvon 3-pointer.
Well,
the running three.
That was a bad 3-pointer.
There were shots within the zone offense, and you're finding spots where guys are open. So I mean, we're not coming out every night and throwing up 26 3-point attempts. I think that was just, I mean, they were open. They're taking them.
I will say this. The manuscript for how to play the Tigers is out there. I think people know now what they have to do. But the question is
well,
I mean, they still won the game.
Yeah, you can do that, but good luck.
Yeah.
Still winning.
And
I think that's the growth that you see is against Ole Miss. They let it affect them on the other side of the floor, right? They weren't rebounding the ball.
100%.
They weren't necessarily playing defense, and it's because shots weren't falling. Saturday, shots weren't falling, and they were still defending. They were still grabbing rebounds. They were still making hustle plays.
Completely locked in.
That's what ended up winning the game, was doing all that other stuff in spite of you shooting really poorly. Like, even if they shoot not even their I think we average, like, let me look at it. At one point, we were like 38% from three as a team.
I was trying to pull it up, but basically, yeah. I mean, it's
okay. So now we're now down to 33.5. So even if we had shot like 28, 25%, you probably win by 10, which is what I had said.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that if they'd shot just even relatively okay from three, they probably do bury Clemson.
Yeah.
And they probably need that, since we were talking about the polls earlier, but it'd have been nice to be able to put them away pretty handily as opposed to it getting down kind of.
Hey, I mean, I'm not going to come in here on a Monday after and complain at all about a top 15 win. So I'm pretty pleased, especially given the fact that they shot poorly. Hey, they took care of the ball. Only 6 turnovers. I can't remember the last. I guess I couldn't remember, but I saw that's the lowest total we had since Gonzaga in the tournament 2 years ago. We had 5 in that game.
Should have won that game.
We should have won that game as well. But I don't know. Great atmosphere Saturday. It was damn good to be back inside FedEx Forum. It was 15,000 plus in there on Saturday. It was a really, really good crowd. Fun game. I mean, just overall, both ways.
One of the most fun games I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, wow. Lead changes, crowd interaction. You talk about PJ Hall getting into it with the crowd, like just the back and forth of it. It was a lot of fun.
How much does the schedule come into play with that? Like, is it because it was a top 15 team, or do you think if the team, arbitrary team here, what if it was UAB, MTSU?
I mean, I think it certainly helps that it was an undefeated, nationally ranked team.
I just making sure. I mean,
and just being Clemson ACC, I think that helps as well. But it was just taking the names off of the jersey. It was still just a fun game. It was back and forth. Both teams had runs at certain points in time. There were plays made on both sides of the ball. You watched a lot of good basketball. I mean, it was just a good game.
Speaking of good games, we have another one.
What a wild stretch this has been.
This is kind of why that's kind of why I asked about the schedule.
3 straight ranked opponents. TJ, this is the first time it has been ranked versus ranked inside of FedEx Forum since.
Hold on. First time ranked versus ranked. Is this? We weren't ranked against Houston, were we?
Nope. You're gonna have to go back for this. It surprised me.
How far back? I mean, you had Memphis UT.
It surprised me.
Memphis UT was ranked. I mean, how far back are we talking?
Oh, well,
It surprised me too,
It's
Trey.
more recently than that.
Well, you made it sound like it was forever ago.
Well, I was just...
hold on.
I mean...
Ranked versus ranked. Was it a conference game?
Yeah.
You had... What team was ranked at it, but it wasn't Houston?
Former staff member was the coach.
A former staff member was the coach, Tulsa?
Mm-mm.
Oh, R.I.P. Haith. He's not here anymore. Who was it? Just got to give up.
SMU, 2014. Is that not almost 10 years ago?
Wow.
No, it was. 10 seasons ago. Because that would have been March or February of 14.
I can't forget they were good at basketball ever.
They came in, I don't remember what I remember we won, but they came in probably 18 and we were 20 something, I think. It just doesn't, when they said that earlier today, I heard that, I was like, wow, that is hard to believe, honestly.
Dang, that is kind of wild.
So anyway, you got the Cavaliers coming into town for what, remarkably, I did not know that this was even possible. We're December 19th that they will be in town. This is their first road game of the year. How is that possible?
How is that possible? They played in the tournament. Unless we're just not counting.
We're saying true road game.
Yeah.
But even schedule-wise, they've
in Virginia.
Been the home team in every game that they've played.
Are they just playing everything in Virginia?
I mean, they were in the Fort Myers tip-off thing.
Well, no. Outside of that.
Yeah, every game has been at home.
Wow. That's brutal because they're going to hit a stretch where everything is just obviously by default away.
We're literally their only non-conference away game.
What? How does that work out?
Their next away game is Notre Dame, which will be an ACC game to kick off their ACC schedule.
Dang, dude.
Although they played Syracuse. Why does the ACC do that stuff?
What?
They play like all their teams except for Wake Forest have played one conference game. Like, when did they play this?
December 2nd, looks like.
Yeah. Like the first week of December.
I don't know. That's kind of weird. Just throwing one in there for sure.
That's what I saw that after our game that Clemson was 1-0 in conference, and I was like, what the hell? How have they already played? Because they played Pitt like 2 weeks ago.
Let's put this in perspective. So we have a common foe.
Us in Virginia?
Yes. We have both played Texas A&M. The Tigers clearly won 81-75. Virginia and Texas A&M played 59-47 was the final.
Yep. I mean, it is definitely going to be a contrast of styles.
That is very ugly basketball.
Tonight inside FedEx Forum.
That's what's fun about it, though. I think that you're going to have a situation where it seems like it's going to be a little bit similar to Clemson, where you're going to have guys gassed, and you're just going to have to run them, make them move.
I mean, if we are able to control and play our style of basketball, I think no doubt we win.
It seems too easy for it to be that simple, right? Like for Memphis to be able to run it.
It's not. That's the way Virginia. If Virginia can impose their style, they win. If Memphis imposes their style, they win.
Well, yeah,
I forget who put. I think it was D. Grums looked at it. Somebody had posted the stat of their 160-11 when they score over 70 points. But a better way to look at it is pace or possessions.
Yeah.
And just last year alone, they were I think they were 6-5 or something when it was 65 or more possessions in the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to use up the entire clock and not let Memphis have their chances to, make 50, 60, 70 attempts, whatever the number may be.
So I think, that's the recipe. Is get it up there, speed them up, make them play uncomfortable. Don't play down to their tempo. We don't want to slow it down at all.
Is there anyone we should be looking out for on that? I mean, I looked at them earlier, like statistically, like, outside of just like generally following along with college basketball. But, I mean, nothing that really stands out to me. I'm going to be real honest with you here. And maybe that's famous last words, right?
What, for Virginia?
Yeah.
And they have not beaten anyone of significance really outside of A&M.
What'll be interesting to me is their guard, Beekman, isn't a great offensive guy, but from what I've read about him,
Just clamping it, dude.
he's one of the best on-ball defenders in the entire country. So it'll be interesting to see what he does against Jahvon. I know Javon's going to be eating that stuff
He's
up.
just going to be jelly famine. I'm not worried about it.
Ooh, that's a good.
How
question.
big is Beekman?
6'3".
So it's like he doesn't have real size advantage.
6'3", 195. So he's a big kid. He's a big kid.
He's bigger.
I mean,
Virginia
Trey can take him. So
Virginia coming off a huge win against Northeastern on Sunday.
Just
Saturday.
massive.
56-54.
It's what kept them in the top 25, to be honest.
it does. You joke about that, but it does sure as hell feel that way. That dudes are just, using that. Well, it was a tough game against Who was it? Northeastern.
Yeah.
Northeastern. So you've got to be able to keep them in the rankings. Just hearing all the wild reasons as to why some of these teams are still ranked.
Well, if
over
they just
Memphis.
win, they keep them there. ESPN Analytics gives us a 63% chance to win. Currently, the line is us 2.5 is what I'm seeing by ESPN Bets. 6 p.m. in FedEx Forum, ESPN 2. It's a blue out. So get there. There's only like 400 tickets left in the lower bowl / was that just lower bowl or was that lower bowl and
It was lower bowl.
Lower bowl and concourse, I think, are the middle
and club?
and club. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Only 400 left.
It's not bad on a Tuesday night at 6
No.
p.m.
It does.
no.
I think it will definitely be a late arriving. Those weekday earlier games are tough at 6, so it's going to be 6:15, 6:20 before you really get the crowd up in there.
All right, this is what I need you to do,
You
Trey.
cannot. You can't have another slow start
No.
tomorrow. I don't think you can. I think you got to get out there and start fast. What do you need me to do?
Just streak the court at about 6 o'clock.
Delay the game.
And delay the
Slow it
game.
down,
yeah, slow that snitch down.
I could do what I forget what Grizzlies game it was I was at, but that chick
Really
I go
superglued
to maybe
herself?
one or two.
Or no, she changed herself. Yeah,
herself
that's
to
what
the
it was.
goal.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Kenny, going back to your comment on Reese Beekman, he has a forewarning. I don't know how much people care about the box plus minus, but he has a defensive box plus minus of 8.9, and Ryan Dunn has a box plus minus of 9.9. Now that doesn't probably mean anything to 99% of people, but Jalen Young is a 6.1, and that is the highest for Memphis. But granted, the pace kind of plays along with that and kind of hurts us and helps them at the same time.
100%.
But
Their pace kind of inflates those numbers a little bit,
sure.
I think.
Because I think we know that Quinerly is a pretty good defender, and he's sitting at 1.6 here. So I think he's a little bit better than that. I don't know. Just thought I'd throw that out there for you.
They don't have, from what I've seen about Virginia, their inside presence is nothing compared to what Clemson has.
No.
So I think that's going to be an interesting dynamic in the game. Number one, not just for Malcolm and Jourdain, but David getting to the basket.
yeah,
That's going to be
attacking the rim.
interesting. Yeah.
Or JQ. I mean, we just talked about how JQ at any point in time, just, they do anything high-low, and he just is off to the races at the basket, and I think they'll have that all day. They should, at least, right? I mean, when you look at them statistically, nothing really stands out from like a player's perspective. They don't really have a guy who's out there just crushing boards left and right. I mean, their best rebounder pulls in 6 a game, which is still pretty damn good. But
That's David Jones.
yeah, I mean,
Every night.
you're talking about that from your guard, and that's Ryan.
And that's a
Dunn for them.
guard for them as well.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a guard for them. Their big men aren't really out there doing anything. I think Leon Bond is the guy.
They got
And he's not
Buchanan.
really
It
paying
looks
that
like
much.
that they use kind of a lot. He's a significant contributor. Blake Buchanan, 6'11" center.
Yeah, I've watched them quite a few times this year.
He's a freshman though, so
And there's just not a lot about Virginia that stands out. But they
Boring
win.
basketball, dude. Yeah,
They
yeah.
win.
yeah.
And in the end,
they've
I
got
respect
the
that.
number 2 defensive efficiency rated team in
Yeah.
the country on KenPom. Number 1 in effective field goal percentage defensively.
Wow.
hold opponents to 41% from the floor.
It's gonna be a. If the Tigers can speed it up, it's gonna be a fun game.
If you can speed it up and hit high percent, get to the rim. Quinerly is jelly famine, and we're getting layups, and he's dishing it.
Shots.
By the way, speaking of dishes, that second half assist that he had.
Oh my God!
You guys need to go in, if you haven't already, and watch the Bluff City highlights, because there's music overlay and Wolo overlay, and you can still hear Kenny in the background freaking out about that pass.
Yeah, it was
doing what he just did and was like, oh my God.
that. I mean, because I had the perfect angle for that pass, and it was just like his arm angle and the way he threw it.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know if you saw the.
I died today. Listen,
Was that the one that ended up getting blocked by?
No, David made it.
He made it.
David made it.
There was another one. He had a pretty sick pass to Hall, or
it was a dunk.
David,
and Hall blocked it at the rim.
and I was like, oh, like I pulled back because I thought he was about to yam it in. I was like, that was a damn good pass.
I neaded him to dunk that on PJ's head.
It was
so bad.
It was in the second half, early on in the second half, and it was kind of a low shot clock. And David was out on the. You know how most guards do? They want to do that one-on-one thing, and he was kind of inching out away from the three-point line to get clearance from his defender, and he was like hitting his hands like, pass me the ball. And Jahvon was like, you could kind of see the synergy between the two of them. And next thing you know, PJ Hall was guarding him, and he just went. David hit him with a bow and went to the lane, and Jahvon just passed it, kind of sidearm Patrick Mahomes style.
Kenny's reaction is so good. It's so good.
I had to turn the volume down on that clip because I was like,
I mean, you didn't do it enough because you still hear it. It's great. Over 2 other sound bites, music and Wolo's call.
That's embarrassing.
Embarrassing. It wasn't as bad as when Malcolm dunked on.
Ole Miss.
Man, I freaked.
I almost fell over the second level glass when that happened because I was jumping like crazy. That was so awesome. So another big one, another huge opportunity to get another quad one. Hopefully, they're sitting at 29 in KenPom, 22nd in the country. KenPom's got you winning. I feel honestly better about this one than I did Clemson, which is weird.
No, I think I'd agree with that.
But Clemson also ended up being better than I was giving them credit for. So Virginia's probably better than I'm giving them credit for.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we've both agreed that if you look at the schedule, it's not.
But I also just think, given like if you even have 80% of the crowd and atmosphere you had Saturday, and this is their first true road game, I just don't see them coming in here and winning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I am very curious to what
Memphis
is going to do. And I know it's easy to just say push the pace, but every team probably tries to push the pace versus Virginia, and they continue to win. So obviously the pace thing isn't really working. So I'm curious what Memphis is going to do differently that no one else is seemingly able to do. You know, seemingly able. Obviously they lose games, but yeah, it's not often. So I'm
and it may not even be so much about pace as just I don't think their offense is very good, and I just don't know that they'll be able to score.
Yeah, I don't think it's set up to
so
be
it
good.
Goes back to getting rebounds and getting out there. It may not even be like speed them up offensively. It's just play straight up, get the board, let's go.
Yeah.
All right, outside of that, after Virginia, you got kind of the last, I guess, of the Power 5 sequence. I mean, they are Power 5 technically, but
they are a Power 5. Stop downgrading our wins.
Vandy is
potential wins.
Doo-doo. So you got Vandy Saturday, and then that kind of closes out until you got Austin, which I say that Vandy and Austin P are 10 spots apart from each other.
I would say they're probably not that far off.
They are very equal. That would be a damn good game between the two of them. And then that closes out, puts you into conference play, starting with Tulsa on the 4th. TJ, you beat Virginia tomorrow. You win your last 2 in conference play. You go 11-2 in out of conference play. I mean, I honestly, you go even like 14-4, and I think you're looking at like a 4 or 5 seed.
Here's the thing, Trey, is I am wired now to believe that we just won't get the respect in any of the rankings. I don't know how not
you
net.
don't, though.
I'm not. Kim Palm's obviously whatever. That doesn't really count. Not net. Not in anyone's top poll. Like, I don't think they're gonna get it. I don't know why.
I know Zach tweeted it out about, I guess it was us. Is it us, Purdue, and Tennessee? Was that the 3 that had only played 8 quad 1 and 2 games so far?
Quad 1 and 2 games.
Yeah, combined. That's
I think
kind
it
of
was just quad 1, right?
No, it's quad.
Purdue, Colorado State, FAU.
What are you looking at? I've played 8 total.
Oh, 8. This doesn't even have Memphis is playing 8. Memphis only played 6.
We've only played.
Tennessee's played 8.
What are you looking
And
at?
Purdue's played 8.
We've played 7.
This is as what? Sorry, that's bad math. Yeah, Memphis has played 7.
It's because Arkansas dropped to a quad 3 today.
That
Yesterday it
changes
was 8.
Yeah, I see that now.
So that's the problem. But
Bitches.
yeah, I don't know. The Nets, I get it, but I also don't get it because there's a lot of people ahead. I mean, we're sitting at what, 34
fluid, dude.
today? I know it's fluid, but we're 2-2 in quad 1, 3-0. So we're sitting at 5-2 in quads 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And you look at somebody even like New Mexico. They've played no quad 1 games. They're 2-1 in quad 2 and 8-0 in quads 3 and 4, and they're sitting at 28th. I mean, it's because it's not just who you're playing and beating. It's also how you're doing, how margin of victory and different things, other metrics are going to. I get it, but
Isn't that weird?
it can be frustrating at times to what Zach put out there. Thomas, if you guys didn't see the tweet, I think he even compared it maybe to Tennessee.
How weird that style points matter so much.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we always say. Hashtag metrics matter. Can we get that as merch? Tigers and
Speaking of merch.
metrics.
Speaking of merch,
First of all, merched up.
let's go.
Clearly right now I'm merched up. Super merched up.
Merched.
Also, there may be some JQ merch in the works. Is that real? Is that happening?
What?
It is.
I saw a shirt today that said that JQ was getting merch put out.
Where did you see that?
Bluff City Collective is putting out some merch with him.
Oh, nice. Jelly.
Wow.
Jelly of the Month Club with JQ.
It's got a picture of him, and it's El Capitan.
Wow.
Is the heading on it. It's actually pretty fire.
I missed that.
Interesting.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. They're doing it through, I think they're doing it through Oxbow.
Nice. I love Oxbow. Love Oxbow, man.
I was in there yesterday. Good
Yeah,
people over there in Oxbow.
I was looking at it earlier. There was someone else that blew my mind that they were so high up there when you're looking at the...
What, in the net?
Ma'am?
In the net?
Say it like you got a pair, dude.
In the net?
Yes.
You're just like my daughter. She says yes, ma'am, to me and Natalie.
Jillian just says yes, sir, to me and Alicia, so it's fun. Gosh, now I can't find it. I had it saved, and I was a little shocked that they were that high up.
I don't know. You're talking about in the net, somebody?
Yes, in the net. In the net.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I'll find it later, I'm sure. I didn't say it.
You don't believe that if we go 11-2 out of conference and then we go like 15-3, we're going to be looking at a 3-4 seed?
You
there
should.
Are bracket,
No, you very well should.
Absolutely.
there
will.
are bracket,
Absolutely.
There are bracketologists out there already that have us on the 3 line.
Yeah.
I think that you should. I just don't know if it'll
Right
actually
now,
happen
as
that
it stands.
If they win out this non-con, and then like they are favored in every net in the net, right? They're favored every game. What is a Kimpom?
Every game until Florida
Atlantic, the last game of the year, they're
well,
favored.
now it's changed. They have us losing to Florida Atlantic at home, which is absolutely laughable.
That's
is
laughable.
not happening.
That's not happening. I'm sorry.
It'll also update tomorrow after we beat Virginia's ass tonight. Yeah, we're not losing another game until February, end of February, maybe March.
I don't know, man. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but Penny always finds a way to lose that one damn game.
know,
I guess
we
it's
drop-
not really just Penny.
Okay, so outside
always
of
finds a way.
tomorrow, the next, I don't even know what to use. I guess I'll use 75% chance to win. No, we'll go. After tomorrow is 60. Our next every game of after this is 70% chance to win or more, except for North Texas away on February the 15th is 61, and then right after that at SMU is 54%.
Wow.
Every game between now and February 15th is.
If they end the season with 4 losses
Total,
where do you put them?
So that's just what? One conference loss?
3 losses, I think you're 2 seed.
I agree.
3 total losses.
I don't know. I think you could.
Is that Kenny? Are you including winning the conference tournament?
I guess that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because theoretically,
it'd be hard to not.
You think Penny's going to Fort Worth and losing that?
But I also think that there could be a situation where they're going to pump in a freaking Big Ten team over us just because they've had 50 attempts at a quad one win.
That is what sucks.
They'll go 7-6. Making one up numbers, but
hey, I mean, there's potential there for SMU is sneakily climbing. Tulane's been winning. They could potentially get there. North Texas is in the top 100 at KenPom. They could jump 20-ish spots and get up there. I mean,
I don't think they lose 2 games to FAU this year in the regular season. So I'm giving you like one, SMU loss because SMU's good. Yeah, Tulane loss, something like that. Just kind of random sprinkled in January.
Yeah.
Wow, North Texas is 4-5. How are they up so high? Anyway, I don't know. It'll definitely be some. I mean, they've done what they've needed to do. Especially if you go out tonight and you beat Virginia. I mean, you did. He scheduled the way he scheduled so that you could be a high seed, and you have done what you needed to do. You played one bad half against Villanova on the 3rd day of a 3-day tournament, and you shot so poorly you let it kind of affect the defensive side against Ole Miss, and you dropped those 2 games. And outside of that,
you beat Virginia. They are a unanimous top 25 team, right? You think everybody puts them in?
Who, us?
Yeah.
Oh, 100. If
Oh my God.
If we win,
You say, "Oh my God!" I thought it was going to be unanimous this time around.
I did too.
That's true.
Here's the thing though, and Gary Parrish talked about this earlier today. A lot of those AP voters will just look at what other people have done. Not a lot, but there are several that do it that way. So, like, if we go 2-0 this week and they see that other AP voters had voted us as top 25 this week and they didn't have us ranked, then they're going to rank us next week. I think if you go 2-0 this week, every voter will have you in.
Bring back the poll attacks, Gary.
Yeah, we need
hold these people accountable for their ridiculous behavior.
It's absurd. DJ, maybe you.
How funny was the Discord today? Everybody was freaking out in the Discord about one specific guy.
Yes,
and it was like last week's. And he had actually put us in.
Yeah, he put us in. They corrected it. Someone found it and corrected it.
I will say 23 feels low.
It is a little low, and I don't know if.
And I agree. Again, Gary talked about it. I mean, or maybe it wasn't Gary. I don't know who it was. Somebody said it and mentioned we're 23rd because if you lose by 1 to Virginia, they're dropping you out.
Yeah, 100%. You'll drop probably. I mean, I think they'll still be.
You'll be 26th again.
26
for the 14th time this year.
The 25-1, the Kings of 25-1.
Unreal.
That's okay. We're gonna win out from there on out. So
we might not lose again.
Let's hope so, man. How fun would that be?
My gosh,
let's be good at
fun and stressful because we know
sports again.
With our end of the game, there's nothing ever easy. A lot of stressful end of game situations there.
Why is that?
For all sports. All right, let's take a break. When we get back, we got portal news. We got a quick preview of the AutoZone 65th Liberty Bowl. We got bowl picks with 50-50 TJ and Thunder picks, and then we'll review this Hootin' and Hollerin'.
Hootin' and Hollerin'.
This cucumber pick, Bear.
It's not a cucumber. Cacti.
Come right back.
Cacti.
You hear?
because I think everyone is saying that Ja's the best player we ever had.
Correct.
Are we ready to put Bane? Where are we putting Bane at?
So I think that he is a top 3 offensive player ever in the franchise.
Right. Easy.
And the reason I give him top 3 is because Zebo was a bad dude. Offensively, like everything. He was one of my favorite Grizzlies ever. He might be my favorite Grizzly.
Yeah.
Bane is right there with him now already.
But if you're putting an all-time Grizzly starting 5, is he your shooting guard or are you going Tony Allen?
100% I'm going Bane. I hated Tony Allen.
Bro, I appreciate Tony Allen and what he did.
100%.
But the whole Tony Allen run, like the fan response to him and like the levels we put him in, I was like, I'm sorry, y'all, love y'all, but I don't look at Tony the way y'all do.
This is going to be terrible. And it's going to be slanderous, but you're going to love it. He is a better defensive John Conchar.
Oh, stop. Stop.
Whoa.
No.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Is this the best University of
Yes.
Memphis basketball team in 15 years?
Oh.
You thought I was going Penny Hardaway era?
I would say yes.
I would say yes, too.
And definitely in the Penny Hardaway. I thought you were going Penny Hardaway.
I don't
but,
know, man.
I don't know.
What
I mean,
was it,
this is
That
it's
Will
kind
Barton
of tough.
Four Kings team.
That's kind of tough, though, because I don't know, because I wonder about the upside of this particular team when we get to a tournament situation.
Yeah.
I think that's a wait and see. That's an incomplete.
I think so.
I agree.
That's an
I
incomplete.
agree. I agree.
But I'm leaning yes based on the way they have managed this out of conference schedule, because this is nuts. The fact that we're debating
That's what I was.
that sort of shows
Right.
what,
Where this team
what
is
the
at.
ceiling of this team could potentially be, and it's exciting as hell. Don't hide your excitement. If you're a Memphis fan out there, don't hide your excitement.
The fact that you can even have an argument or debate on if this is the best team in the last 15 years shows you all you need to know about what this team is.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Walk up in the life. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Don't believe me. Come and see me. Get the bitches from my
Jesus Christ.
TJ just farted, and I'm about to throw up.
Did you really fart?
Are we recording?
Yes, we're recording.
No, I did not.
It smells. It's like, is there poop in your pants?
I didn't toot.
He said toot. You are a father. I didn't toot.
I didn't do it.
TJ, we got the 65th AutoZone Liberty Bowl. We're going to have to preview it because we are not recording next week due to a little thing called Christmas. Jingle bells. Are we even going to have a football team?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be missing a couple of them, but not all of them.
I'll be honest, I don't feel good about this no more.
What do you mean?
I mean, half of our lines quitting or somewhere else.
Is Blake going to play?
Is
Yeah.
Blake going to play?
Blake Watson? Why would he not?
Didn't want to get hurty.
What do you mean?
He's going to the draft.
Yeah, but he's also still got to prove himself. He doesn't really have
The line opened
an
at
incredible body
Iowa
of work.
State minus 5.5. It's up to 9.5.
It's up to 9.5.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that because of essentially our entire offensive line? So we have confirmed Jacob Likes is playing. Shout out to the Donut Man himself. He is going to play.
Who will our line be?
Oh, I mean, Xavier Hill, definitely in there. Jonah Gamble.
Isn't Terrence playing?
Terrence is practicing. And he should play. I don't know why he wouldn't. Again, another guy who doesn't have a terribly large body of work underneath him. I mean, he played in 5 or 6 games this year? That's 5 or 6 games not at the junior college level.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be smart for him to play, try to build that up. So you're
I don't know.
you're
I
basically filling in one offensive line spot.
I just don't feel good about it.
No, I mean,
Wait, so who are the 5? Likes, Gamble,
yeah. If you,
Hill.
I think Hill will probably be left tackle.
Terrence.
I think Jonah Likes the right guards. You got to fill in. It could be Gilda House. It could be Royce White. Those are two guys we've kind of seen bounce around from time to time, and then right tackle McLean.
Okay.
Presumably.
Because I feel a little better.
Yeah. I mean,
It's 2:30 on Friday the 29th, ESPN, inside Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. The last time before construction starts, hopefully.
yeah.
I think it's being voted on today, or it was voted on earlier today.
Yeah.
Officially. And it should go through. I saw one of there were a couple of things that were being asked for. One of them is a council that will pitch recommendations about renovations.
Yeah. We'll
second
fill
bullet
out your council and listen to your request.
was contractual agreements with Southern Heritage and the Liberty Bowl. And then the third one was that the city can buy back the stadium for $1 if the university wants to sell it.
That seems so goofy from the city's perspective. You're not making any money with the stadium.
When the university would have to want to sell it back.
I just don't know even why they would do that. Is that a safety clause from the U of M?
No, I think that was the city wanting it.
It costs them money. It does not make any sense for them to own
tell
it.
you. Not a whole lot of sense has been made since this has all started
Goodness
from the
gracious.
city's side.
Doesn't make any sense. Give us the stadium. Stop
They're
playing
giving it.
around.
They probably have by now, by the time this is out.
Maybe.
It's gone through. We're playing this game on the 29th, and then construction starts at high noon on Jan 1. And we're going to have to play all of next season with half of a stadium.
Vanderbilt did it.
Yeah.
And they got made fun of the whole year.
Yeah. Had a crane holding up a floating scoreboard.
I'm not emotionally ready for this, for us to be laughing stock all next year on Twitter because
It's
we're
going to be
playing
dope, though, when it's all finished.
Who
It
cares?
It will be dope.
Who cares?
We
will be
are
dope.
We're playing Iowa State again.
I know. That's also...
You don't like it?
No, it just feels...
It feels what?
I wanted something new. Give me somebody we hadn't played.
Why does it matter? It's a Power 5 school. If you win, you hit 10 wins.
It just feels like it's 2017 again.
I wish it was 2017 again.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He's not responding.
I don't know.
Why do you want it to be 2017 again?
Because those are like the best years of Tiger football.
Oh.
17, 18, 19.
Well, 18 was very meh.
Yeah, I don't think 18 counts. They started
He had like
dropping some stuff.
You had like 14 NFL running backs on the roster.
Yeah.
You went 8-6. So
No, just looking at it, right? Iowa State is what, 7-5. So winning takes them to 8-5. It doesn't really.
you don't think that they care?
Yeah, it in the pit of it all.
They
I think
finished what,
Memphis
fourth in the Big 12?
cares about winning more.
I mean, this would be a big win for us if we could pull it off. I just don't feel great about it.
That's fair. I mean, I just, for me, I do have concerns with some of the portal hits. Like we have a general idea of what the offensive line is going to look like. They've all played at some point in time throughout the season, so it's not like you just have no experience there.
Sure.
You do have a competent line. We've seen the offense be good. We've seen the defense be both good and awful all at once. So, how are they going to handle that is
You have no defensive coordinator.
well, check yourself on that. But
Maybe the next.
they'll at least have they know who the DC is for the bowl game.
Sure.
I'm confident in that.
I just want to know who the DC is for next year.
You're not going to get that until
I want it.
mid January, maybe later January.
Gosh, that's
That late?
Yeah, dude.
yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
I feel like that's what happened with Crams and Barnes before.
Yeah,
It
you
was
got to
like,
get out and you got to meet people after the bowls, man. You got to think you got all these bowls. Coaches are getting fired. People are like, you know what? Maybe this isn't the place for me. And there's kind of this big stirring pot. And all these coaches get together and just start chatting away. And I mean, how else would Ryan know who Matt Barnes is, right? Just a secondary coach at Ohio State, the interim DC for a little bit. I mean, they get to that convention and they just start rubbing elbows and talking to folks.
Just rubbing weenuses and talking.
What do you think? What do you think Ryan's? What is the pitch that Ryan has to hear that's going to make him go, okay? Is it scheme? Is it what is it?
I mean,
It's fit.
I think it's fit, but that is when you say that. I know it's cheesy, but like, I think this defense is set up in a place now where you need to have a defensive coordinator who fits your personnel now more so than what they could be in a couple of years. Does that make sense? Like you have Chandler Martin, you have Jeff Canton-Arku. Despite him not playing the number of snaps he should have, you have Cormonte Hamilton. You've brought in some guys who can rush the edge. Like you have pieces you can build around. I don't think they need to bring in a new guy who's just going to completely retool the defense. Like you have valuable pieces.
I think you gotta bring somebody in that can do something quick. Not let me get my guys in here, take a cycle, and I can be serviceable next year, but I need to get people in here.
Yeah, I don't know if you can afford to bring in a guy who just flips the scheme again.
Which is interesting because they are hitting the portal defensively hard.
Yeah.
For not having. I mean, is that an indication of potentially going internal for?
That's what I'm wondering.
I mean, I think
maybe they have their guy already. They just haven't announced it.
I don't know. It seems kind of, I don't want to say lazy, right? But it does.
I don't know that it's going to be, if that is the route you're taking, that's going to be very exciting.
You're going to have a lot of people pissed off because you've already had one hiring at one point.
I will be pissed
while
off.
all these staff members are here and you skipped over them.
I think you need to clear house.
I don't know about clearing the house.
In the defensive offices.
There's definitely a big focus on the defense.
Get all the furniture out, repaint that thing, bring in some new furniture, new blood, do a little feng shui. They figure something out because defense has been gross.
So I got a question for you, TJ.
What's that?
I know you talked about them being very diligent about rebuilding their defense in the portal, and they have been. They've gotten quite a few guys on the defensive side of the ball. Mm-hmm. But they still got the same guys who are leading those position groups that had some high level. I mean, coming into the season, the transfers that came in were P5 guys that were supposed to dominate the AAC.
Sure.
And they just didn't. How are we feeling about that? I mean, like, that's my question. How are we feeling about that?
I'm kind of over the P5 guys route. Give me the Chandler Martins guys with a chip on their shoulder, something to prove. They seem to work out better.
Well, I think they seem to work out better because we have a smaller sample size of it at this time.
Yeah, I mean, Simeon was fine.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that.
Yeah, but fine.
Okay, Diego Brumfield. That's a smaller school guy that came over. I mean, I wouldn't say he's anything to write home about. We used Chandler as a perfect example of a guy who came from a small school that was awesome. But Brumfield did the same thing. And
Chandler would go to any school and be awesome.
Yeah, like Tyler Murray came from Charlotte before Charlotte was in the American. Do we count that? I know they were still. What were they? What are they? Sunbelt before?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. It just, for me, it's not about what school you come from. I think you need to find a guy who has something to prove. And
that's all I was saying.
Yeah. And I think that it could be a guy like Josh Ellison is a good example of someone at the beginning of the year who looked awesome. And then about midway through.
Yeah, because we were playing doo-doo state.
Yeah, but it's also, did he get banged up? Did we change what we're doing? Is his sole job to just park in the A gap and then just make two guys block him? Because if that's your job, you're not going to look pretty on stats, but you're doing your job.
That also sounds boring. Why would you play football to do that?
Well, it's just kind of what
the
nose
kid make
tackle
plays.
does. Dude, it's 2-on-1 there like 99% of the time.
But if that's his job.
You said park there and let two dudes block you. That sounds boring. That's all I'm saying.
But if that's
someone's got to do it.
If that's his job, he didn't do it. I mean, the interior defensive line did not do it well. It did not stop the run up the middle for the last half of the season at all.
Well, there's also two sides of the center. So, if the D tackle is lined up in what would be like the two gap for somebody, the other side's completely wide open. If not, someone's pulled over there, then there's another gap on the other side of them.
There's a lot of gaps talking about. Just fill them.
Yeah.
Park there and stop the run, TJ. It's not hard. It's your job. Do it.
I agree. I think that they've done a good job this offseason, hitting some positions of need. Obviously, linebacker, kind of filling in some of the void there. But Jaden Flaker out of NC Central.
See, that's a Chandler
I don't even know what
Martin-esque
the
right
hell
there.
NC Central is. Do you know
Doesn't
what their
matter.
mascot is?
Ooh.
All right, hold on. I'm going to look. NC Central?
Yeah.
Some kind of bird or something.
Did you see that? Because you looked at the schedule of.
All right. Don't look.
It was.
Give me one.
Someone played it. I think Virginia played them already, or Clemson maybe.
In basketball?
Yeah.
No, I remember seeing the bird thing because I looked up Jaden's stats earlier.
Well, it looks like a straight up like NCAA created school logo. So
I don't know.
They're the Eagle.
they are the Eagles. Yeah.
Okay.
Flaker's a good one. Obviously, Javonte Mackey coming home from Arkansas State. I really like Mackey. He put it to us when we played him. Like, I don't think maybe the stat line played it out, but if you watch the game, like, he looked like a guy who was getting after it. So I'm glad he's coming home.
That's
Also
all I'm
coming
saying.
home, Richard
Give me more of
Kinley
those
coming home.
guys.
Lucas, PJ Lucas, a guy that a couple Memphians may be familiar with. He played at Ole Miss for a bit. Big guys, like 6'3", 320. Just going to fill the hole in the middle. I know you hate that so much for whatever reason.
Just fill those holes. I'm just saying, if it were me, that just doesn't. Let me make plays. I don't want to just fill holes.
Well, you're not 320 pounds, Trey. I think if you're at 320,
Not yet.
People get paid millions in the NFL to just be
Let me
big.
get through this
take up a
holiday.
hole.
Let me get through this holiday season. I can get up there.
This guy's ridiculous and unbelievable.
We're hitting the portal hard. That's the point. The portal is open. It is active. Signing day is.
You're not even gonna let me
Wednesday.
talk about the crown jewel of it all.
Who? Our performance enhancing. Did you already mention him?
Our 210-pound running back.
No, Caden Costa. First of all, that's an incredible grab.
That
He
is a good. He's
very
a very good kicker. He was probably the best kicker in the SEC when he was a freshman.
And
Then he had to sit out a year because he used performance enhancing
took something.
endurance rub.
he took something. That's all we'll say.
It was extends.
No.
Just kidding. Didn't a Memphis player get in trouble for that?
Yes, I almost texted you that earlier. I forgot who it was.
It was
I almost
like
said
Robert
it was Will,
Sally.
but it was not Will.
I think it was Robert Sally.
I think it may have been Robert Sally.
Extends.
Costa is an incredible kicker, and I think that
my
that's something we do typically take for granted, considering we were kicker you for a bit. There.
Didn't Robert spell his name with a U-R?
Yes, Robert.
I'm looking up
Yeah.
Robert Sally extends.
Let's not forget. So is he a punter or a kicker?
He's
He's a kicker. We
did
got
get
our
a punter.
we got our punter from
UTEP.
Yeah, UTEP.
Joshua Sloan. He's a Aussie, but the kicker's good.
I like Aussie punters.
Yeah, the kicker's really good. He was Jack Greer's roommate at Ole Miss. Fun fact.
Let's go, Jack Greer.
So did Jack Greer do it? Yeah, maybe.
Even in the midst of
Who's to
rehabbing an
say?
injury,
Who's to say?
he brought him home.
Here's the story. Robert Sally went on radio with CBS Sports' Gary Parrish Monday to clarify the report that he claimed he was cut from his Spanish basketball team for taking the penis enlargement pill extends.
I think you do have to clear the air.
He
if
said
that's
that
the
he
going
was
rate.
not taking extends, but he was taking a male sexual enhancement pill called Black Ant.
What does that mean? How did we get here?
Speaking of, someone posted in the Discord a picture of Robert Sally a few weeks ago. Remember that?
No, what's he up
What?
to?
He ain't looking great, boys.
Is this like a Delonte West situation?
I
Like,
thought
what do you
somebody
mean?
posted the picture of Jaron, and he wasn't looking great.
Oh, it was Jaron. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll cut that out. I don't want to mess with Robert.
Well, then cut out my segment about his extends Black Ant. What the hell is Black Ant? Oh, my
Also
goodness.
notable, Mario Anderson, South Carolina.
Mari
Gamecock.
slow?
He doesn't look that slow to me. I didn't get that comment. I mean, he's not Blake Watson breakout speed, but he definitely is not that slow.
Who's faster, Jay or Mario?
definitely Mario.
Give us your
it's
player.
Mario.
TJ, give us your player comp that you gave before the show started.
Physically is
You
what I
didn't-
said.
you didn't
I
preface it with-
clarified, you clown.
You didn't preface. You didn't preface it with physically.
I've had enough of you.
We're gonna have our first Heisman winner this year, ladies and gentlemen.
I said he reminds me of Mark Ingram, and Gabe was like, Gabe looked at me and was like,
Like you had 3 heads, bro.
he's like, he's gonna win the Heisman. I was like, physically, you clown. Like clearly, I didn't mean he was Mark Ingram. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
they said
yeah,
he's
Grabe,
shut up, Grabe, nerd.
freaking nerd.
They say he's like 210. He looks way bigger. Than
He does look
210.
bigger than
You guys
that.
are lying to us, dude. I'm excited about him. I do think he's an every down back. I do think that he can catch the ball out of the backfield.
Where did we pull that one from? T?
So, what?
Where did we pull Mario? How did we get him? It was us, Oklahoma, and USC, wasn't it?
Running back you. What do you mean?
I did see that there was a graphic put out there that was essentially like he wants to get drafted, and it was all the Memphis running backs in the NFL.
If we're being honest, his name is skipping my mind, which is not good for podcasting right now.
Give me a hint. I can help.
No, you can't. The running back coach for Memphis right now, Sean
Dawkins.
Thank you, Coach Dawkins.
Give me a
came
hint. I
from
can
Charlotte.
help. No, you can't.
He came from Charlotte,
Yes.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
All right there in the same little area.
A guy with something to prove.
I think
from
that
Charlotte.
there was a relation there already. And Dawkins had placed out that tweet saying like, "Hey, if you're a running
But he
back,
didn't add him.
I know he doesn't have. I don't think he could do that. So I'm glad he didn't do that. But he reached out and was like, "Hey, if you're a badass running back, we do this here. This is kind of what we do. It's our thing."
And you think Mario saw that tweet and was
I
like,
think that it could have gotten passed to him. I wouldn't be shocked one bit.
interesting.
I'm just throwing it out there, especially considering his people literally threw up a graphic of
Yeah.
all the great Memphis running backs
I agree with
this
you.
dude added in there.
I agree.
So I don't know. I
Teach-
know you know who Coach Dawkins is. You're not an idiot.
We didn't give our predictions for the bowl game.
Oh, dang. You want score? Or what do you want?
Score me.
This is tough because the only Iowa State games I watched, they were freaking explosive nonstop, but that is not
The only one that
exactly-
I watched was Kansas State, and it was in a freaking blizzard. And
Yeah,
it
I think that was one of the explosive games. Yeah, where every carry was for 900 yards. It felt like.
Yeah, what was that dude's name? Noel or whatever, that running back they had? No, it was Sama.
Oh, what?
Abu Sama the third had like 40.
Was that the guy?
Yeah, he had a 71-yard touchdown run, a 77-yard touchdown run, a 60-yard touchdown run.
It was huge plays back to back to back a couple times. I felt like.
I still don't feel good about it. I think we lose.
I'm gonna say the Tigers win because I think the game just matters more to them, honestly. And I know that sounds like kind of like a cop.
I would love that.
But I think you have most of your offense coming back. The offensive line seems serviceable. It's really what can you get from your defense. A lot of guys are trying to make their name for themselves before they head off to the portal or to the pros, whatever's on their way out. It's a very senior-led defense, upperclassman-led defense. So I think it just matters more to Memphis. Get your 10 wins and be like the 4th team in school history to ever hit 10 wins. I think that matters.
I don't feel good about it like TJ does. I'm going to say Tigs lose 31-17 and our streak of 20 plus.
17 points?
Yeah. Our streak of 21 plus points in a game comes to an end.
All right. Well, Trey doesn't know ball, is I think what we're agreeing to here. I don't feel good about the win, mostly because it's gonna be so cold.
You just
dude.
said we were going to win.
No, I just
You said we want it more.
we want it more. That's what I said. That doesn't mean we're gonna win. That's not what that means.
Okay.
You know what? Whatever. Negative Nelly. I will take the Tigers to win. I think it will be close. I do think it will be a 34-31. Wow. Tigers win. I do think it'll be very close.
Last second field goal.
No.
You don't think Gillis puts one through at the buzzer?
He could if he wanted to.
Interesting.
Dude.
All right, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's good weather.
No, it was supposed to rain as of a month ago.
Yeah,
And then it flipped into like 5 degrees now. So I don't even know.
5. I looked at it earlier, and the
really
high of the
notice it.
day was like 54, but we're still way too far out. We're not even a week.
It's too far out.
They look 5 days in advance. All right, Teej, let's get to 50-50 Thunder pick. Still bowl season. You took a big dub.
Yeah, it's all I do.
What are you, a couple games over 500 now? You had UCLA.
I'm a hot boy. I'm
UCLA
hot boy.
covering against Boise, and they covered easily. I think it was 2.5 or 3, and they won by like 2 tutties.
Yeah.
I took another L.
Clown.
Took App State. I think it was 4.5 or 5. And they played in a freaking monsoon and won 13-9. So I missed it by like a half point.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Just absolute heartbreak. We got a full slate. We got 2 weeks of bowls coming up.
That's what makes it tough though, because it's hard to.
Already found the one I'm taking. I'm taking James Madison minus 2.5 against Air Force
That's what I was looking at.
on Saturday in the what bowl is this that they're in?
Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl,
Yeah, in that one.
obviously. Man, that's what I wanted.
Well, I took your James Madison because I knew you were probably going with them.
You did. You took the spread?
Yeah. You going same game?
No. Do you have the spreads?
Are we making
all
a same
the spreads
game?
up?
We're making a
No,
same game parlay?
Not fun.
Oh,
Do you have all the spreads up?
yeah.
What's Utah Northwestern?
It is Utah minus 6.5.
Oh, yeah, that should be solid. Yeah,
want
Utah
it?
is covering versus Northwestern. Northwestern's dog water.
What bowl is that? They don't have the names in the bowls.
SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. Here's the problem: is that I just
Kenny,
said
can we get a Bluff City bowl?
Yeah, everybody's got a bowl at this point,
We're working on it.
and it's
They
it's
can't
not
be.
great. Bob.
They can't be that much.
Look for 2025. About the same time the Liberty Bowl or the Simmons Bank opens back up.
Wow. Ooh. Bluff City Media Tigers Untapped Bowl. TJ and I just line up and do Oklahoma drill.
Let's go.
I'm gonna freaking we should do that after the way you treated me last episode.
You're kind of getting on that. You're getting in that same vibe.
It's
tonight.
called Payback, Trey.
Interesting.
I'm also interested in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. What the hell is Scooters Coffee?
Dang.
I don't
Didn't
know
we
what
play
that
in the
is.
Frisco last? No, we played in
Wherever SMU is, whatever bowl that is.
It's gosh.
We played at SMU, and then like
Is
a
it
week
the
later
Armed
played
Forces Bowl? First responders.
First responders. Yeah,
Gosh, I knew it was something like that.
yeah. That's UTSA versus Marshall. Marshall was not very good this year, and UTSA they're pretty good. I think they're a pretty good team.
Wow, Tulane is a 10-point dog to Virginia Tech.
That's shocking. Oh, well, their entire staff is gone, so I don't even know how that works. Like quite literally, the entire staff. I don't know if anyone's sticking around.
Lord have mercy. That's like us in the Birmingham Bowl against Auburn. We had 0 staff. It was GAs coaching the team.
I never want to relive that bowl game.
Goodness
in my life.
Let's get in this hoot and holler. What else? You got something else?
I don't think so. No,
You
This
hooting
is
and
a
hollering?
6-hour long episode already.
Well, we're covering. We're gonna be
I know.
off. It's a 2-weeker.
We're gonna be long.
You guys gonna listen to this the whole
Break it up.
Christmas break?
Hour 1 this week. Hour 2 probably next week.
Hour 3.
I don't
We'll
know.
be
Who's
back.
To say? Who's to say? I don't know.
I think Tigers Untapped fans could look out for maybe a best of next week.
A best of. I can get down with that.
Yeah.
Also, one thing we didn't touch on, mostly because this has been a pretty long episode already, is the early signing period is this week for college football. So it's Wednesday through Friday?
Doesn't matter because
Trey,
what?
I can see your face. You're like, whatever.
It doesn't because
It does matter.
nobody recruits college or high school kids anymore.
That's
It's all about
clearly
the
not
portal.
true.
TJ, we're like 8th in the American as far as our class goes. We're not bringing
all
in
we found was a bunch of gems, unranked gems, is what you're telling me.
like guys that are named Jim.
Yeah.
Gems with the GEM.
JIM.
We're just not going to bring in a high school kid that's going to make a difference.
Well, I think that's a vast
all about the
majority
portal.
of most colleges.
We're portaling, and we're portaling hard.
That's great. They were a top 20, top 25 portal team last year per rivals.
Per portal perks.
Well, I was trying to say per portal rivals, which I think is the handle.
Is that it?
I think that's it. Rivals.
What
portal.
are we this year?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
I got it. I think Brian tweeted out we were 27th after the Costa
Okay. I mean,
commit.
what are we talking about? Top 30 in transfers? I mean, that's pretty damn good, I would say.
Especially given it's still early and you don't even have a DC yet.
It's good, man. It's good. I will try to do my best to try to get something out there relatively soon. Maybe.
What, the beer bracket?
No, Trey. I just went ahead and buried that because it's been so long. Unless you guys still want it. I still have the document. I still have it. We can still do it. I was just burying it. I think you wanted it.
That's so lame.
You don't even drink beer.
I want to see. You know me in brackets. I love brackets.
You just want to vote.
You put a bracket on anything, I'll vote for it.
What I was saying, what are you doing to the can? We have to grade that.
I really like this week's can.
All right, come on. Let's get to it. This thing is diving off the deep end right now. Trey's breaking shit.
It's not breaking. I just
All
pulled
right.
the lid. That came off so clean. I mean,
I'm going to get something out for the National Signing Day as much as I can.
If anything,
Not
I'm
national,
giving a
early
higher
signing
rating
period.
because this just came off so cleanly.
Hamp line, hooting and hollering. I'm hooting and hollering because Trey's losing it over here. I don't know what's going on.
I like the can.
Mine's not coming off like that. I want mine to
They're
come
all
off.
very similar, though. All the Hamp lines. They've got
The bear on the
Natch
bike.
on it.
Yeah.
Hey, I remembered his name for once.
You did.
Cucumber/cactus threw me off. It's a good label, though. It feels. You tell me if you're getting this vibe. I'm getting a little bit of a Toy Story. I feel like he's a little bit of Woody.
Yeah, it's the Woody.
But it's
ride.
also like the light blue. It's very Toy Story. Only points up because the sticker came off so cleanly. Points down because Natch is always on there riding the bicycle, and it's common. It's like the Memphis Made stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's like a 6.5.
I was going to say 6.7.
It's not a very good can for me. I mean, it's fine.
It's fine.
It is very consistent, very cookie cutter for what they do. It's not that great. It's not a great can. It's just not.
I mean, it's fine.
My
The Pilsner was good, though.
my thing does not. Oh.
See?
Oh,
You just
okay.
had to find the right corner.
Maybe this is 6.7. It peels right off.
See how cleanly that comes off? You just cut yourself?
I don't know what they apply this with, but
Yeah,
I don't want to touch
some
that
kind of
anymore.
glue.
The beer is good.
It's not my favorite local Pilsner,
No.
but it's good. As they say, it's like a hootenanny in your mouth. Could definitely drink more than one of these.
Did you get in the Sauvignon Blanc or passion fruit or lemongrass?
I didn't get fruity or
No, I didn't get
the Sauvignon Blanc either.
No, I didn't get any of that. I said the beer or the can was a 6.5. I'd say the beer is probably like a 7. I mean, I could drink multiple of these. I didn't love it.
I was going to say
but
7.3. I think
it's good, but
It's not my favorite Pilsner, but it's a good Pils.
yeah. This is Tigers Untapped improved because I think we could drink multiple of them. So you may as
Crushability's high.
well. Yeah.
Take it. I would buy multiple of these.
5.8 ABV. Not that bad.
That's not bad at all.
Not like the
It
7
comes
or 8.
in a pint. That's plus.
You know, I should give it points.
Plus
for
that
doing
up.
that.
Try to put this back on here. Tej, close this out.
Well, I think we the next time we'll meet up.
This is the
Tigers
last one
will be
for the year.
Yeah, the Tigers will be. How many more games do we have?
What do you mean?
Austin P, Virginia,
And Vandy.
And
3 more
Vandy?
out of conference games.
Yeah, you got 3 more games, so the Tigers will be 3-0
That, you can't
here
even
on
tell.
out. Kenny will have to tell us how right he was when he said that they would go 5-0 on this road
Yeah,
trip.
Yeah, I just
Not road trip, on the out of conference here.
Very surprising. I mean, I didn't think it would happen. And
It's early. It's early, Trey.
let's just say if
the
it
hard
doesn't,
part's out of the
if it
way,
doesn't
I
happen now, you lost to a team you shouldn't have lost to.
Yeah, that's not great. Here's the thing. The Tigers are going to be 5-0 on this stretch. 3-0, I guess, technically from here on out. Kenny's going to be right, so we're going to have to sit here and listen to Kenny tell us he was right.
I will.
And
gladly-
I'm
coming.
okay with that.
It's coming.
I'm okay
I'll-
with that.
Yeah, I'm ready.
If that's
I
what
will-
it takes to be a 3 seed, I'm okay with it. We will sit here and listen to Kenny gloat and tell us how right he was, and it happens. The Tigers will have won the Liberty Bowl. We would have crushed the transfer portal, signed a couple young guys early on.
Gotten maybe the best defensive coordinator in the country hired.
Yeah, well, maybe. We'll see about that one. Got some gifts, ate some cookies. I mean, there's so many endless possibilities from here on out. Right? See you guys next year. We appreciate you.
We do. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Kiss
Anything?
my ass. Kiss his ass. It's a Christmas vacation reference. Happy Hanukkah.
You can't say that.
Why?
There's children listening.
There's not Jewish kids can't be Jewish?
no. All right.
What?
I'm out of here.
Come to the Colbert State for the hot takes. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.